Near-death experience. The 21st of April, 2025. Have you ever had an episode of deja vu, having a similar incident happen to you previously, or you remembering that something happened exactly as you are experiencing it at the moment? The idea of deja vu is as mentioned previously. It is a way that God is warning you. It is important for you at that moment to remember the circumstances which led to the first time you experienced the same experience before. Sometimes people would pay more attention to their surroundings upon having the feeling of deja vu. They would start looking and focusing on the people around them, on the way things are different. They would say, I remember having the exact same feeling before, but there is something different now. It is like you are being thrown into a time capsule, passing through the same event, time and time again, having the same feeling every time. It is like God is reminding you of the event itself throughout your life, saying, Was I not with you during that time? If any of us would be asked such a question during his judgment, we all will answer, Yes, you were. Anyone who denies the fact would just be misled. Some people have been studying life after death and trying to prove the existence of the afterlife by analyzing flatliners and attempting to interview those who suffer a near-death experience. Many people would identify a specific phenomenon that happens with them during their near-death experience, which is the loop in which they would be reliving the same memory over and over. The afterlife cannot be studied through near-death experiences. It is not like a person who suffers such a condition would actually be dead. They would only be in a sleep state, in a coma state, even if their hearts stop beating. If someone is brought back from a near-death experience, it is not that they have actually died, but they were in a deep sleep state which they awoke from. The afterlife is not something that coexists with the current real life. It is the new life which will be recreated after everything in our world is destroyed. The time loop and the repeated memory that people would experience during their near-death experiences are only different probabilities that could have resulted in a different outcome at that specific time. Things that they could have done differently, and they are plenty, which would not result in the near-death experience itself. Some people would have a dream during this state about things they told their parents and closed ones, which caused them to lose touch with them or caused an argument between the two. Other people would have a dream that they have children and that they are married to someone other than their real-life partner. These complications during the near-death experience state are only probabilities that show themselves in the form of a different reality, a dream of a different world than the one they currently live in. However, they are not the afterlife per se. During life in the actual afterlife, a day there would be equal to 1,000 years in earthly time. No person would be able to live a full day in the afterlife while he still lives. They have to be dead in order to be able to perceive time the way God decreed it for the afterlife. A person who is only in a near-death experience situation would only be considered a sleeper or in a coma until they wake up. Those who come back from such an experience would only be able to describe what they were shown, but none of them would be able to live the experience of this vision or dream for more than a few seconds. Those who do live the experience of the vision for a couple of minutes would have to be comatose for years. Yet again, whatever the person sees through this experience is not the afterlife. It is only a vision or a dream. It could be a corrective measure with which God would tell the person what they did wrong throughout their lives and allows them to return to correct what they did, like visiting a family member and solving an issue with them. It could also be a vision of the past, showing the person something from their past, a memory they liked, or one where a deceased person would still be alive and talking to them. It does not mean that the deceased person is either in heaven or not. It could only mean that his memory is being repeated and shown to the person so that he knows he is not alone. Once a person actually dies, their soul leaves the body, never to return to it again until the day of judgment.